So I managed a diner for 2 years right out of college, and learning how to make eggs and omelets was hands down the hardest thing. But if you use these tips and tricks that I give you in this video, you'll be able to make any egg or omelet for any member of your family, put a big old smile on everybody's face, and win the weekend. All right, so let's see where the griddle is at here before we start these eggs. I kind of wanted to show you guys what would look like if you're cooking a meal, so not just doing the eggs by themselves. These are actually leftovers from Easter, but I'm just gonna do some stuff with them. So, you know, if you're in a meal, I got 340, 350, 350, 340. I just put some water down to make sure it's clean, so I probably lowered the temp a little bit in the food. Usually it's around 375. I got all 4 burners on low. Let's say you're just getting done with these potatoes and stuff. All 4 burners are on low. You're running a little higher, 340, 350, 340. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this one off. I'm gonna leave the middle 2 on low. I'm gonna turn this one off. And I'm gonna move this food over to warm because it's done. I mean, it was really cooked yesterday. It was our Easter brunch that my aunt cooked. But we're just gonna pretend here, you know, this is the end of your meal. You got all your potatoes and bacon and stuff. Move that over to warm. And then we're gonna kind of do our eggs here on the left side. We might go into the middle a little bit with some omelets and stuff, but that's just kind of how I do it. You can see my tanks down here. It's not a big deal. You can do either side, but I like to do the furthest one from the tank's gonna get the least amount of gas. So oftentimes this one can be hotter. So that's why I kind of do my eggs all the way over there. So let's go ahead and get our griddle cleaned up, then cook these eggs 4 different ways and do some omelets. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is try to get this cleaned down here. I wanna make it nice and clean for our eggs. This is kind of gonna drop the temp a little bit too. We're gonna be dropping our temperature, which isn't bad because we wanna do our eggs lower. We always wanna be around 300 to 325. That's the most important part about doing any sort of eggs on the griddle, 300. I have a specific spatula I like to use for eggs. You want to keep it clean. This spatula back here, I got all my potatoes and stuff on it. If you use the same spatula, sometimes it gets dirty. I also like this one because it has a beveled edge on it. You can see that edge right there. Hopefully it slides under the eggs a little bit better. So everything's clean. We already know where our burners are set. The one closest to you is off. The next one's on. Check our temperatures here real quick. 355, that's a little still too high for me. Down here, where are we getting to? 330, that's still too high. Where are we at in the middle? 326, 25. For some reason the middle's lower at 320, and right here we're at like 350, 330, 340. I don't know why. So we're way too high right here in the front, 330, which I don't know why because I cut this one off. But this is a good learning experience what to do when you're too high. We'll just keep adding a little water, bring this temp down if we're kind of in a rush and don't want to wait. We just finished the rest of our breakfast and we don't want to wait for it. So see where we're at now. 270, 290, so that really lowered it down. In the middle, 290, 330. Okay, so now we're just below 3 over here. 297, that's perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get some oil down and go ahead and rock and roll on these eggs. I'm using some buttery oil. This is Whirl. It's kind of like what we use at a diner, so it has a buttery oil flavor. I can't imagine it's good for you, but that's what we're gonna use. I'm gonna put a little bit down, kind of swirl it around here. Make sure we got a nice even surface so nothing's gonna stick. We get all of our oil down so nothing sticks. And we'll start with the sunny side up and the over easy first in the basted one. So go ahead and hopefully I don't break any of them, but you never know. There's 1, there's 2. You got a shell in there. You get a shell in there, what we used to do. Sometimes it's easy to get it out with the other shell if you still have it. They like attached to it for some reason. Sometimes it's not. And then I lost it, so now it's gone. Okay, so now I'm just gonna cut that off completely because I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere in there. And that's gone. Okay, and we got another shell. Did not do a great job cracking these eggs. Okay, so here's where we're gonna get to. All right, so we will make this one over easy and this one sunny side up. So I'm gonna pull this just like that. See how I'm letting those whites go out? I'm just kind of making it even bigger. That's gonna help cook those whites, that like pocket of whites that are in there for this sunny side up egg, because you just don't want, you want all that white to set up. That's the hardest part about a sunny side up egg, is getting all that nastiness, the snotty whites all set up. And they'll fill back in here with more whites. Oh, don't play with it too much, playing with it too much. Okay, this one, cut off between the two of them. You always got to keep it clean. Now sliding underneath there, sliding underneath there. So it's looking pretty close. I mean, you can see these whites aren't set up quite. You can tap those out a little bit too if you want, but we're gonna flip this one. But that's where your pocket is gonna end up, your like pocket of snotty whites. So when you flip, that's what you don't want to do with over easies. You want your yolk to still be running, but not those whites, okay? You want those to stay. Let's see what we're looking like back here. Yeah, that's looking good. You don't want to play with it too much or else you're gonna get in trouble here. But just let everything keep setting up. Oh boy, no, it doesn't look pretty anymore. Okay, so this one's pretty well set up. So, all right, I'm gonna put the camera back over here. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do with this one. You always wanna make sure you can get under it. That's why the beveled edge is nice, plenty of oil's nice, and then you kinda wanna just get under from both sides just to see, is it gonna stick? Is it gonna give me any issues, you know? So then it's not, and then when you go back under, you can come from the side if you want. I like to go closest to the yolk. If you go from the farthest side of the yolk, that's when you can kind of push the whites over. So I go close to the yolk, make sure I'm under, and then not violently, but like just kind of be aggressively go under there, you know? And then flip, don't lift it up super high. That's when you could break it. This is a nice soft flip like that, and hopefully it doesn't break. You still might lose one. I mean, you just might. That's just the way of the world, but hopefully you don't. Come back over here and see what we're looking like now. Sunny side up egg. I mean, it's still got a lot of white on top that I'm not a fan of. If you mess with that too much, I don't want to pop this yolk though. Should have flipped this one because I just don't like that, but I mean, that's kind of part of a sunny side up egg. Rolling the dice on some of this stuff. You can see the whites are getting set though from where I pulled them out. Hopefully you can see that, how set they are right there. Right here in the top, there's a little more. I mean, you're really gonna pop the yolk if I play too much with that, so you gotta be careful. That's about 30 seconds on our over easy. Let's pull back out. And we should be done, okay? We'll put them on our cutting board over here. It's where all the eggs are gonna go. It's a nice over easy egg. That's all you can ask for. Pretty much, I want to say perfect. I don't say anything that is perfect, but it looks pretty good, I think. It's a pretty good looking egg. And we'll put all of them on the cutting board over here. And then let's clear it off and get ready for these scrambled that we're gonna do next. Now your sunny side up is just still sitting here. You can see it's getting a little darker on the bottom, which is fine. Let's zoom in on that for you. And that's not the end of the world, color-wise, but the top's setting up real well. So, oh, almost lost the spatula. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. I'm gonna let that sit just a little longer while we get things cleared up for our scrambled. Let's see where we're still at. Temperature-wise now, this has been off for a while. So we're real low, 270, which is why that sunny side up is just sitting there fine. The middle's still on, it's closer to 3, so we're rocking and rolling real good over there. Do a little bit more oil right here, buttery oil. Whatever the heck this whirl stuff is. Got something that's made in a lab probably, to be honest with you, but whatever. Trying to do the authentic diner taste here. So here's our scrambled eggs, okay? So we're gonna push them down. This is just one because I'm gonna have to eat all these eggs. And you gotta pour it slow and be careful or else you're gonna lose it like I'm losing this one right here. So I just like to pour it slow, let it kind of just spread out on the griddle. If you pour it fast, I've lost them down the grease catch there, as you can see where it wants to go. And I just kind of let them spread out. If you're doing lots of scrambled eggs, you can make a little well in the middle, but we're just doing the one. And we'll just kind of let it spread out. It'll probably be done here relatively quickly. I should have wiped my griddle down, so this is a good mistake. We'll see how many black spots we get because I didn't wipe my griddle down. We're letting it kind of just set up there, and then we'll flip it. There's some white parts. Looks like I didn't fully scramble it perfectly, but that's okay. Happy accidents, folks. This is not perfect. It's a pretty good looking scrambled egg there. So it's going to continue to cook, but it's done. I mean, it's done. Put that on the front there. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and get our sunny side up egg off of here. This thing looks like it is done. Same thing, be careful on the sides. So it's a little dark, it's a little brown on the bottom. No problem, that's gonna happen with a sunny side up egg. We'll put this one over here, though my scrambled eggs are kind of in the way. That's okay. And we'll rearrange everybody a little bit later. So now let's go on to the basted egg. All right, we're gonna do our basted and our fried egg in the egg ring. Still check our temps here. We are at 290 in the middle, and this one that's turned off now, somehow at 300. I don't know how, this is very strange. It's evening itself out. I thought the middle would be way, way hotter, but it's not. And we'll see where our burners are still. They've been like this the whole time. Off, low, low, off. Make sure we got flame in there. Okay, I don't know why it's like that, but can't complain, that's right where we want to be. So we're gonna bring this guy down. I put him on there to warm up a little bit. This is where we're gonna do our fried egg. And then this one will be basted. Grab our spatula here. It's a little dirty, you always wanna clean it off. I don't know if you can see that. Always clean it off right there. Put that like that. Make sure there's plenty of oil inside this egg ring. The first one. Our second one. Make sure that's not in your way. Okay, realize I brought this salt and pepper out. Haven't been using it because I've been so busy explaining, but you can always salt and pepper at the end. We'll put a little salt and pepper in that one. This guy, we're gonna pop. Spread him all around. Okay, now that he's popped, put a little salt and pepper there in there with him as well. Okay, now we got our dome out for this one right here with some water, and that's how we're gonna do basted. The griddle's not super hot, but it's still gonna steam by putting that dome and hopefully get it to basted position by letting all that water steam. You can see right here, water steaming underneath under there. This guy's looking good. We'll go ahead and give him a few taps here. Sometimes if you tap on that, it'll help loosen it up. So you can see it's kind of sticking to the side there. That's gonna happen even though I oiled it down real well. You're gonna get some stickage. You just kind of want to keep letting it set up before you remove it. I'm not gonna remove it yet, even though we're close to being able to. And then we'll flip this guy over and go from there. Take a peek here at our basted egg. We are not really cooked on the top there, so shall do it again. We're really dropping the temp by doing this with the water, but you really want to get as much steam under there as you can just so it can get basted up. I think we're about ready. Let's see if this will pull off clean. It did. Grab my spatula here. Okay, there we go. Oh, that guy looks good. Now it's really not going to take but I don't know 30 seconds on that backside there. Clean up. Clean as you go. You got time to lean, you got time to clean, folks. It's the diner motto. So yeah, hopefully the basted egg is getting better. So I might squirt some more water under here just because you can actually do it through the top here. Just to make sure we can get it basted. If it was hotter, it would be basting quicker, but it also might burn on the bottom. Just let it sit there. You can see the steam coming out. Close that little gap there. Check on this guy. I bet you he's done. Oh yeah, that's a good fried egg. Where should it go? Right here? Okay, why not? Got our little egg platter. I'm gonna break one of these before I get my final shot. No! Okay, let's check on the basted again. Second time after it's had a chance to sit under there. Oh, that's what we wanted. See how the whites have set up there on top from all that steam? See how it's just cooked? Just gotta make sure it's all cooked through. Yeah, it's all cooked through. It could go a little longer, but I think we're good. Oh, nope, see, it's not cooked through. Good, I'm glad I checked that. I don't know if you can see that. I try to zoom in real close and try to get the temperature right. See all that white right there? That is not cooked. That is still snotty white. So, let's see how it looks to... Oh, it's coming up okay. Since we are not cooked through, we're gonna put this back on there. Come over here, try to get you a better angle this time, and put more water in there to just get that thing basted and steamed. Uh-oh, yeah, there's some water going in there. Yeah, it's going in there. You can see it coming out the side because that's where it's at. So yeah, hopefully we can get that white all the way cooked through. That's the goal. We do not want that nasty, snotty white. All right, at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and throw down some peppers and onions, get ready for these omelets we're gonna be doing. And probably just gonna use that leftover meat over there to fill in the omelets, just to make some kind of omelets, you know. I bet you we're looking good on this basted egg here. Yep, we're looking better here. Let's see if that top is set. Yep. It's much more set now. There's not a lot of whites running out. You really got, well, there's a little bit there. Yep, I'm jumping the gun. Getting anxious on the basted egg. Honestly, a smaller lid, if you got a small clear lid, that would work as well. Just trying to get it all the way done here. Make sure I'm giving you all good information. We can hit these up with a little bit of oil. We can also hit those up, a little bit of salt and pepper here. Give them a mix. Give them a good mix there. There we go. Okay, now clean the spatula. That's why I really feel like Bob Ross. Remember when Bob Ross used to beat his little paintbrush against the side of the thing? That's what we gotta do with our spatula. There we go. There, now all the white has been cooked up. That is what we wanted. See if we can slide under here okay. We sure can. Does it look burnt? Probably not with all the water. Yeah, it's not really, because you're really steaming that thing the whole time. Okay. I might have cooked the yellow a little much on that one. That might have ended up being more over hard. Happy accidents, we shall see. Let's clean everything down and then we shall make some omelets, right? So what I'm gonna do here is get some of this swirl inside the ring all the way around. You can see I got it all the way around there. And then you can use a paper towel. I'm just gonna use my fingers to kind of really this ring lubed up nice and well. And then we're gonna place it down right here to kind of preheat. All right, let's put some oil down. First, we will see where we're at temperature-wise. 282, we're still holding pretty well around 3. Kind of dropping closer to 3 up front there. 282, okay. So we'll put a little bit of oil down in here. Spread that around, make sure it coats. We already coated the ring once. I got my sausage and peppers over here that I'm gonna throw in. I just chopped up one of those sausage patties. We're gonna put that in here too. Let everything just kind of party in there together. Now, if you're gonna fill an omelet ring like this, these little Cuisinart rings work, you just can't overfill them. I mean, you can't put a ton of stuff on there. So you can always just make a plain egg and a shell, or like a scrambled egg omelet with nothing in it, and then fill it afterwards. But if you're gonna put the filling into the ring, I wouldn't overfill it or else it's gonna be really hard to flip. Also, this is 2 eggs. That's another thing with these omelet rings. I really don't do more than 2, even though it's a big omelet ring, because it just becomes so hard to flip. And you're probably gonna lose some out the front, no big deal. Let's go ahead and let it all push to the back here. Just let that cook up a little bit. See if we can get the 2 eggs to kind of get to the back here and fill everything in. I mean, you could do 3. This is gonna look a little thin, but everything pushed to the front because the griddle is on an angle. So that's kind of where your problem is. And I'm probably playing with this too much, to be honest with you. You might end up with some issues on the flip, so we shall see. This guy right here, now that he's cooked up, put him off, back in there. Okay, awesome. See, I got more egg in the front than I do in the back, and that's gonna be a little bit of an issue, but I also like to put a lid on these ones, and then I'll still do the steam them with some water through there, just to help them cook. And you can do 3. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can definitely do 3. A lot of times I feel like it's easier to do 2, but I can already tell you from the way that one was looking in the back, we might end up with some issues on the flip. I'm gonna end up eating my words on this being easier with just 2. Okay, it's setting up pretty well here. See how it's attaching? Yeah, it's holding up okay. Not bad at all, not bad at all. Spatula here, give her a little taparoo down. Let's see if we can take it off the ring here. Oh, it did come off pretty smooth. All right, so it came off okay. I cannot complain about the omelet ring. You see, we still got a bunch up here. See, that's not even close to being set up. Just try to get underneath it and just kind of, I'm not flipping anything yet because it needs to set up a lot more, like a lot more. I was considering trying to turn it, but it's a bad idea. It's not set up. There's a lot of water in there right now. Kind of just need to put the lid back on and be patient and hopefully let it cook a little longer, because if we try to flip now, it's too early. We're gonna end up in a lot of trouble. We still might end up in trouble when we flip, but we'll see. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, it's setting up pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe try to flip this thing. We might lose some of it, but also I'm gonna have to, sorry, I wish I could get a better camera angle here. I can't hold the camera while I do this, or else I'm really gonna have trouble. Okay, so let's see here. It's starting to set up. This is starting to set up, but it's still kind of thin. And I feel like because I got all the weight right here, it's going to definitely break when I try to flip it. So even though I like to have an egg spatula, and this one's dirty as can be, we're going to scrape this one off just like that. Let me show you this. So take your other spatula, scrape it down like that. You want everything to be clean here. We're going to try to need to use 2 spatulas to flip this thing. Also, this one's longer, so normally they hold together better, but this one did not. So the right one's going to go over top, the longer one, and this is just going to support it, and we shall see. I don't have a super lot of confidence in this, but we'll just give her a flip. There we go. All right, way better than I thought. I really did not have faith in that one. And now, since this side's messed up, that's what we're gonna fold it on to make it look pretty. Freedom cheese going down there. And really, once you flip it, it's so thin. I mean, you're done. I mean, it's gonna cook right away. Look. Okay, here, get this thing off. Put it on our board back there. All right, starting to look like we know what we're doing a little bit. Tricking people out here. Okay, now let's clean everything down and do our diner omelet. Do it all wipe here. Okay, for our diner omelet, griddle temps dropped a lot, because we've been cooking a lot of eggs, frankly. That's why it's dropped a lot. So see, we're still around 270. That's a little lower. That's fine though. I mean, that's totally fine. You can turn it up a tad, but I mean, if you start messing with the knobs too much, then you're gonna burn it, you know, and that's not what you want. 280 is still fine. I'd like to be around 300, but we're fine. Oil's going down. I'm gonna use this big one here because it's gonna be a pretty big omelet once we lay it all out. 3 eggs, okay? So we got 3 eggs. So my griddle's leaning towards the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this towards the back. And it's gonna look like a hot mess, because it is gonna be a hot mess. Don't leave too quick. And that's what's gonna happen, is try to direct it over where you want it to go, but it's gonna kind of just go in whichever. The griddle's not level, like mine is not, you're gonna end up with that. So I kind of stopped it there. You can see the top's cooking fast, and the bottom's still got a lot of egg in it. So I'm gonna tap that out just a little bit, see if we can move some of this egg around to cook evenly, and get some eggy up in there. Okay, so this is our omelet. We're gonna flip it this way because that's just kind of how it naturally went. So what I'm gonna do here, even though there's a lot of egg there that still doesn't look cooked, we're gonna put our filling. So I'm just gonna fill this one right here in the middle and add our cheese right on top of that. That's just corned beef hash, potatoes, peppers, onions, just leftover stuff from Easter. There was bacon, but I got bored while shooting this and I ate that piece of bacon real quick. So now I'm try to flip it down like this, flip it up like this, try to square it off a little bit, top and the bottom. Okay, this part is not cooked as much, so I'm gonna go ahead over here, start folding it in. Uh-oh, see this next flip. Okay, this is where you would hide this with more cheese if I was in a diner. I would put more cheese. But now that everything flipped on the part that wasn't done, that's gonna cook, okay? That's gonna totally keep cooking. And I'm gonna try to get this off and on. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this to get this over to this part of the cutting board. So we'll go like this. Maybe not, I guess. See if I can. Ah, I did get it off. Okay, so again, both of these could get more cheese. I don't have any more cheese. Oh man, I forgot salt and pepper on these. Really a lot of happy accidents today, folks. A lot of happy accidents today. Got basted, sunny side up, scrambled, over easy, fried, diner style omelet, omelet in a ring. All these recipes are in my Griddle ebook, which is down below. You want to pick that up. It also has 101 recipes total, and tips, tricks, everything you could possibly want to know. Grab that if you want to get one. Thanks for watching. Keep on griddling.